aristocratic etiquette is all just show. Just smile and nod along. I was forced to learn all of the rules by heart.
You guys are back?
Crystal! Macaroon!
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back down here, right?
Huh? No, not at all.
And here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers, but now you're telling me you just...
We're sorry, but we just had some business to take care of.
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you.
Hey, it wasn't just me.
Something like that. I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him...
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pals.
These two, they sure are a lot...
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll...
Traveler, are you still doing all right? We're fine, but what about a few people sustained super... Oh, of course. How did Nervalet know that he was... I'm sure Nervalet has strong resonance with the... I ran into the bombshell bros while banded. If you're not too pressed for... Just let me know if you get a craving. I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time...
Courier? Miss Sijween told...
Yeah, I was working.
That's no excuse for... Huh? It's you two.
Lurvine, we're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the...
And you? Are you...
Yep.
It can be a bit annoying.
I mean, the infirmary does...
Oh, yeah?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relation.
Not at all!
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
A bare-teeth cat?
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello, everyone.
Looks like you're recovering nicely from it, eh?
Thanks to everyone's Oh, right.
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that...
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera house.
You meant father? Did she say anything to you?
She said a few things that were, a bit hard to understand. And also that
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's fantastic. You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers.
Father is very capable, and also trustworthy.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely.
Got it.
That does sound like something that father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few days?
Looks like it, yeah.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
For real? Then Paimon wants another.
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. How lovely. Well, next time, you're going to... Time to scout. More speed.
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface? Some strange...
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything still all right?
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down and took care of the worst of it.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stay here?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Eudex himself to exchange the courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle of nowhere. He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss Sigewinne's gift with him, though.
He sure sounds super busy.
Miss Clorande has left as well. She also took her gift from Miss
Were the gifts milkshakes?
Neuvillette got the milkshake. Clorande received lipstick instead.
Those aren't even remotely alike.
Well, it's Neuvillette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out... Oh, and I have some gifts here for you as well.
Are these from Sigewinne?
Nope, they're from yours truly. You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell.
For real? Then we could stay here for a really long time?
You may access the cafeteria for free.
Hooray!
Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
again. We're no longer Sure feels that way. But the truth is, we never did it. Huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not true! It's like, we've now gone to so many places together and become friends. There are so many bad things in the world. You're counting Paimon today? Aren't you the only... Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well! Paimon will also be an adventurer from today forward! Just our thoughts making Paimon giddy. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside our cell. We should be safe now. Alright then, good night to you, Traveler.
Something blade work?
Now for a little rest after breakfast. This is the life. Wait a sec. Isn't something important supposed to happen today? Oh, today's our big day! We're supposed to leave the
More speed. Be back with a vengeance.
Please, sign here. This document will be effective immediately.
It's been so long since we've been to the surface. Let's hurry up and... Huh?
What's happening? I'm fine, thanks.
Let's go ask the Duke. Your Grace?
Ah, good to see you two. Is there something you wish to see me about?
Yeah, what was with that earthquake just now?
Ah, that. The tremor didn't originate from the seafloor. In fact, it seems it came from the surface. Over the years of serving as the warden here, I have developed a sense for distinguishing between what occurs on the surface and what occurs underwater. Besides, the seal that Monsieur Neuvillette set in place won't fail so easily.
So the fortress is okay?
If you recall our last incident, if there really were a problem, there would be crowds of
Huh, you've got a point. Okay, seems we need to... by the way...
I believe today is this month's pipe cleaning day.
Wait, seriously?
Ah, yes. Have you...
Yep. It's you two. Are you... That's right! Today is our last day in prison. But... Oh, yeah, Paimon feels... Then be sure to come back.
If you've signed the release papers, then you're free to go.
You're not going to see us...
I knew you'd ask. All right.
Well, you actually agreed.
Ah, so...
After being down here for so long... yeah, don't worry, we'll come back.
I hope you won't be here as convicts the next time I see you.
We'll do our best to stay out of trouble. Well, it seems our work in the Fortress of Meravine is finished. That's the end of another... We should probably go report to him now. You're going to see Monsieur Neuvillette?
I'm sure just your...
I believe it would...
You're right. I've heard the Palais has been terribly busy these days. Tell him that I hope he hasn't been...
The Palais Mermonia sure is buzzing with activity today.
Halt! Huh? Oh, it's you two. Apologies. Monsieur Neuvillette did say you'd be welcome at any time.
Excuse me. Would you mind helping me take a look at this report?
I'll be right there. Sorry, I've got my hands full here. You can see yourselves in.
Everyone's so busy. Seems a lot has been happening. Neuvillette!
Hello. You've come at the right time, but you'll have to wait for just a moment, as there are some urgent matters I must tend to first. In the meantime, please, have a seat. If...
That's all right. We just ate.
Very well, then.
Let's take a break over there while we wait for him to finish his work.
All right. That should wrap things up for now.
Are you done with your work?
Yes, sorry to keep you waiting. Today should be the day you were released from the Fortress of Meripede, and it appears that you have managed to complete all the release paperwork.
That's right, and we came here to see you right away.
A massive whale.
Do you have any idea what that might be?
Judging from your description, that cannot have occurred in any ordinary waters, but rather something like a whale of that size and shape cannot usually be found in the waters of Tivat. Therefore, we can only assume that Child is presently immersed in primordial sea.
Immersed in primordial seawater? But how? And is he okay?
Most people wouldn't be capable of entering in the first place. I'm not completely sure how he could have gotten there myself. Yes? What is it?
Ah, right! Paimon felt it too! We asked the Duke and he said it wasn't from underwater, so we figured you might know something about it.
It turns out that I have just received a report about this particular matter. In fact, that's exactly what I was busy with a moment ago. The source of the tremor was here on the surface near Poisson. After the shaking stopped, the water levels in the Poisson area rose at an alarming rate.
The water levels rose? Oh no! What about all the people there?
Fortunately, the water levels only rose for a short period of time and have already returned to normal now. However, I still have a bad feeling about the whole phenomenon. If the change in water levels is connected with the leaking primordial seawater,
Navia should be in Poisson, right? We need to go check on her!
I would also like to go there as soon as possible, but I'm afraid I can't leave just yet. We must immediately form. I'll have to ask you two to go to Poisson first. I'll meet you there to check on this.
There's no time to lose! Let's get going!
Please be careful.
Add Astro.
Thank you for complete.
Add Astro.
This realm is true. If you ever... This realm...
If you ever...
No. What happened here? Navia should be around here, right? We need to make sure we haven't seen a single soul all the way here.
What will I ever do now?
Look, there's someone on the roof over there.
Just stay put. We're coming up. Watch your balance. All right. Just hurry. I'm not young anymore. Why?
He looks pretty sad.
My leg! My leg! How could this have happened? It hurts!
Just hang in there. Help is on the way. You can hold my hand if it makes you feel better.
Oh, it's Navia. She's over there. Hey, Navia, are you okay?
You're here.
We heard there was a situation in Poisson, so we came as quickly as we could.
Yes. As you can see, the water level suddenly rose. It
Demoiselle! There was a wounded resident next to a building southeast of here. We've already transported him to safety, but
He's wounded? How badly?
He fell, so it's probably a broken leg. He's pretty shaken up. When the water level rose, he desperately climbed up to the roof. Once the water receded and he saw the...
He jumped down then. Find the leader of Squad 1 and tell him to take the wounded resident to see a doctor. He should know where to go.
Understood. I'll take over his search and rescue mission in the meantime.
All right, you'll be in charge. I'm sorry. Where were we?
The situation in Poisson?
Ah, right. Allow me to explain. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud noise. At first, everyone thought that something might have exploded. The rushing water seemed a little odd, almost like the unique color of primordial seawater. Some people didn't realize the danger and thought it was just ordinary water, leaking from somewhere. Everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water didn't have a chance to escape. As the water levels rose, those who realized what was happening started to flee in a panic, desperately trying to get to higher ground. Many were injured in the stampede, and some people fell from significant heights. The Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible, but there have been a lot of casualties. The water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater, so the lower levels of Poisson are still hazardous. To ensure everyone's safety, no one knows if this could happen again. All we can do for now is try.
How awful. And all of this just came out of nowhere.
It was quite frightening indeed. I only wish that everything that just...
Is there any way we can help, Navia?
Thank you for being so willing to help in a moment of crisis like this.
Don't say that, Navia. That's what friends are for.
Demoiselle! We've got a situation here!
I'll be right there. Sorry, I need to go for now.
And off she goes. Seems it might be a while before she can take a break.
Okay, the wounded are being tended to, and we finished a preliminary head count. More support has just arrived, so I suppose I finally have a moment to focus on my own matters. Of course, we should remain ready for anything, and doing our best to rescue others. I'll be sure to have everyone at the Spina di Rosula ready to render assistance. Traveler, Paimon, would you two accompany me to my father's grave for a moment?
Huh? Right now?
Thank you.
Knights and aristocrats share the same cultural heritage, but the knights had enough sense to do away with all the superfluous detail. You took your time.
Sorry, I bumped into the Traveler and Charlotte en route, and we ended up chatting.
I need temporary assistance in the investigation.
Thank you. It's good to have you helping.
So, what's the situation?
Nope. I've been here a while.
How bizarre. Well, we won't get anywhere by standing around waiting. Excuse me, good...
Gemma? You mean Caesar?
I'm just trying to get...
Yeah, she does. Ever since Caesar passed away, she's been... I asked her what she was doing. She knows he's gone, and Candy.
She's been
I'll bet. See, I don't know if the mind if I'm honest. I think this is all so unfair. Anyway, all of that's... Well, that's everything I know, I'm afraid. You might have...
All right, well...
You're welcome.
Did you hear the news? They're saying the Phantom
You're kidding.
I don't know anymore. All sorts of news flying around nowadays. I can never... But what if? Just hypothetically, I mean. What if this weasel...
Called it. Seriously, 10 years ago, on the day it all went down, I said to myself...
Oh, please. Weren't you the one cursing his name to high heaven when the police announced...
Wait, did I say that? I don't seem to recall.
Hello there. Sorry for disturbing. We're actually quite interested in this topic as well.
You've come to the right people. He was a great magician. The best trick I ever saw him do was pop a transparent balloon. I was right up close and didn't blink or look away once. But for the...
I saw him perform too. He always used to bring... Sometimes, he even got the kids to write their wishes down, and then he'd make the items on the wish list.
Huh. He doesn't sound like such a bad guy.
But after he died, there were also rumors that he used the wish list to find out what... As I'm sure you know, the Phantom Weasel would steal just about anything from...
Whatever the case, now that the Weasel is back, Caesar's become a hot topic once more. I bet Gemma must be pleased. If Caesar's name gets cleared... No, speak of the devil. That's her over there. If you've got any more questions about Caesar, she's definitely...
So that's... Wait. It looks like... Hi there.
Who's asking?
Don't be afraid. We mean no harm. It looks like you're injured.
Thanks for your concern. But you didn't answer my question. Who are you?
My name is Linny, and this is my sister Lynette.
My name's Paimon, and this here's the Traveler. We're investigating the Phantom Weasel.
The Weasel posted a warning letter this morning. If he still lives, that means that Caesar was falsely accused. You knew Caesar better than anyone else. So if you're... I promise you can trust us. We won't hurt you. In fact, we'll do all we can to keep you safe.
I never believed that he was the Weasel.
Huh. I suspected as much. Okay, so going back 10 years, do you remember anything strange in the weeks leading up to the accident? Did Caesar have a falling out with anyone, for instance?
No, not that I know of.
Got it. All right, sorry for disturbing you.
If you don't have any more questions, please leave. I want to be alone with him.
Judging by the look on her face, there's definitely something fishy about her.
She's lying. She definitely knows something.
That's fair. We're just a bunch of strangers who showed up and started questioning her about things that happened a whole decade ago. It makes sense that she'd be wary around us. In any case, I doubt we'll get any further here, so let's call it a day. Meet me outside Hotel de Boer tomorrow, and then we'll start the next step of our plan.
You want to learn some Favonia's blade work? All right then, I'll teach you. Oh yes. I'll teach you.
Not a lot of people here, huh?
Well, given the time of day and the whole situation in Poisson, Paimon doesn't think there'd be a ton of people here visiting graves.
Right. That's how things are now. The living are so exhausted that they've no...
Navia? Navia, what's wrong?
Sorry. I just... Malus and Silver, they won't ever come back here again. What should I do, Papa?
Huh? What happened to them?
Everyone agreed on the rescue plan, but still, I was the one who initiated it. They were helping evacuate the residents, but they couldn't leave in time. And
what should we do?
I've known them for so long. And I know they weren't afraid. But I could at least hold a funeral for my father. And I know where he rests. But as for Malus and Silver, they're just...
Everything looks so clean after it rains. Even the gravestones. I didn't expect that you'd enjoy a glass of red wine in front of Master Callus's grave.
I can understand. Besides, the scenery here isn't half bad.
See, it's not just me. I always want to bring something when I visit Papa. Perhaps we might even have a picnic. He wouldn't be angry, would he?
How could Master ever be upset with you, Demoiselle? Yet the cemetery is the home of those who have passed, is it not? Everyone ends up here sooner or later, no matter who you are.
Buying yourself a plot in advance, are you?
No need yet. But when I do, I hope you'll let me be buried beside Master Callus.
Hey, stop joking.
I'm quite serious. That way, it will save us both the trip to see each other whenever...
That makes sense. In that case, could I be buried on his other side?
After all, besides you, Demoiselle, the two of us could certainly be considered Master's closest companions, no?
Personally, I believe we fill those shoes just fine.
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Seriously. All right, but I'd really prefer not to talk about this stuff. And what do you mean by saving me a trip? I'd make the journey even if I had to visit you two some... I'd promised to let them rest in peace here. But here I am breaking that promise. I'm sorry for letting you see me in a mess like this. I don't usually cry, really.
Paimon doesn't know how to help you feel better. But, well, she understands how you feel.
I had always thought I could make my wishes come true. But now that I think about it, that never solely relied on me. Many things can only be accomplished with someone else's help. Malus and Silver have helped me so... I'm so sorry.
You can spend as much time as you need here, Navia. We'll stay with you.
Thank you. Right now, you don't know how much that means. By the way, you can have a look at this. It's a list of victims from the incident that took place here.
Obena, Khan, Burnett. So, everyone else is safe. But
it's okay. I know what you're thinking. And you're right. We lost Malus and Silver. The overall outcome indicates that the cost...
Right! Don't think that way, Navia. One person might be saved at the expense of the price for saving anyone.
You're right. Thank you, Paimon. What you said just now was...
Oh!
Seems you've become more eloquent in the time since we last met.
The knave? What are you doing here?
Is everything going well on your side?
Yes, my people are carrying out the mission according to your request. All the residents of Poisson have been evacuated, and we're preparing to relocate them to higher ground. As for these supplies, we have everything taken care of. There is no need to worry.
Thank you very much.
Wait, do you two know each other?
We just met recently. Right, Miss Navia?
Usually, I would call this a coincidental encounter, but that doesn't quite fit this time. Besides, it never even crossed my mind that a Fatui Harbinger would come looking for me. Thanks to the Knave, Spina di Rosula received generous support from the Fatui, which allowed us to complete the rescue.
Mutual aid is essential to fostering positive developments. We were already in the area, in any case, so it was not. That said, I must say that you're a lot sharper than you let on. I'm sure you understand what I mean.
I apologize for all the ways in which I tested you previously. We've never worked with a Fatui before. My subordinates have reported that Fatui soldiers have been observing water levels and taking head counts in various locations. I hear that they've also prepared a large amount of emergency supplies.
This is nothing to brag about, nor do I intend to. It is simply the way of powerful organizations to act forcefully, whether they are doing good or ill. You've witnessed that firsthand, in any case. As I've told this traveler before, I know of the prophecy, and I intend to prevent the impending disaster. Lending your organization a hand was a natural first step in accomplishing that. As such, do not be troubled by this token of our sincerity. Perhaps one day, you'll also be able to—
Without your help, there would have been many more casualties. I won't—
Furthermore, I sincerely regret what happened to Malus and Silver. I only wish that my people could have arrived a little earlier to prevent this from happening.
Don't say that. You and your subordinates did everything you could. As Paimon said, Malus and Silver didn't choose to sacrifice themselves for any specific person. And they weren't the price paid for other salvation. They chose to become heroes themselves. I've never liked hearing people put it that way. It's like trying to relieve pain by saying some noble sound. But right now—
You're right. I'm sorry for your loss, Miss Not. Water is life to Fontaine's people, and it also spells disaster.
So, you're one who will try to change fate, then?
Of course. That is why I'm going to Hotel Bouffe de Thé. I still have some things to— By the way, Traveler, Paimon, one more thing.
Alright, then we'll just... Huh? This isn't right. Paimon thought you would ask us to walk with you for a moment so you could tell us something in private.
That is a clever and useful conversation technique, which I do like to use when necessary. But there's no need today. It would not hurt to have Miss Navia listening in. Traveler, I'm sure you remember that I said we could work together when we had the chance. You and I both know that there may be issues with the Primordial Sea. Previously, it was the Fortress of Meripede's sluice gate, and this time it was the water levels in Poisson. These are both signals. Indeed. Allow me to share the latest intel I've received from the House of the Hearths. During some recent investigations, a child claimed to have discovered some ruins near Poisson. The ruins date back to ancient times, and seem to be worth investigating in many ways. Judging by the dating of the ruins, they may be related to the prophecy and the coming crisis. The situation is becoming more urgent. My people initially came to prepare for ruin exploration.
So that's why the Fatui were already in—
I wanted to take the children along, but unfortunately, Linny, Lynette, and Fremine have all been dispatched to higher ground to assist affected residents. Linny told me that outside of the house, which is why I want to give you this task. The House of the Hearth's members see each other as family, but Linny, Lynette, and Fremine said that they also see you as such. I'm sure you already understand how earnest they consider their friendship with you to be.
Oh, that somehow makes Paimon feel kinda happy.
The intel I just shared about the ruins could fetch a high price. But since the children consider you family, it's only natural that I freely share it with you.
Got it! So all we gotta do is go to some—
Excuse me, but may I tag along?
You wish to join, Miss Navia?
But are you sure you're up to exploring some ruins? You need to rest.
Well, I'm sad, yes. But there's no point in being depressed while we still have a disaster on our hands. Besides, I'm also doing this for myself. I need something, a distraction, to keep my mind off Malus and Silver.
Since you put it that way, I have no objections. What do you say, traveler? All right. The ruins are to the south of Poisson.
Okay, the three of us will handle.
Over here.
Lynette's not joining us today.
I've had her follow still. Today we'll be looking when Caesar before long. I had to pull a lot.
More speed.
these the ruins the knave was talking about? Oh.
They seem to be pretty ancient, all right.
Let's go in and have a look.
Just be careful. condemn you! More speed. Shadows of fate. Shine down. Crush. Dada Kondala.
This place has also been contaminated by primordial seawater.
Yeah. And a lot of it, too. A Fontainian would most likely dissolve the moment that—
Right! You can't go down if there's primordial seawater. It's too dangerous, and it won't be any help for you to just stay here. Don't get by my wrong. We're not saying you're useless. It's just that...
No, you're right. I can't do— That complicates things.
In that case, do you...
The water levels here are unstable, and there's a chance I'll go together with you. Perhaps we'll find the exit.
All right.
Time to scout.
Oh no, it's a dead end! Let's try climbing over from the side.
Demoiselle?
Huh?
Demoiselle, what are you doing here by yourself? Would you be standing here till dark if I hadn't come to get you?
Maybe she just wants some time to herself, Malus.
Hmm? Oh. Was I sleeping?
Yes, it would appear so.
I must be tired.
That's quite possible. However, you were the one that suggested we go out for a walk.
Oh, right. I nearly forgot. It must have slipped my mind when I dozed off. I haven't had a nap today yet. Have I? This is a familiar feeling.
Is something the matter, Demoiselle?
Oh, no. No, I'm fine. I was just trying to recall why we came out for a walk.
Do you remember Mr. Giverny? He'd requested our help before with foreign merchants who had a debt dispute with him, and we
were headed to see how things were going with—
Ah, right.
Oh, Miss Navia. Ah, Mr. Malus. And Mr. Silver, too.
How have you been?
I've been great. Thanks to your help, those bothersome merchants finally realized that I wasn't the one they were looking for. They were knocking at my door day and night. Even my—
Sometimes force is required.
That's right. Oh, by the way, Burnett, what was it that you wanted to give to Miss—
Oh, yes. Miss Navia, these are some flower seeds that I prepared. Please take them. I don't know what we would have done.
Did you cultivate them yourself? Thank you so much. I'll certainly take them. Malus,
Why, we can have as many pots as you'd like, demoiselle.
perfect. In that case, we'll swap out some of the decorative plants for some of Mrs.
Very well.
Wait. Something. Excuse me, madam.
That's right.
No, it's nothing. This is the first time we've ever met, but I've heard this name before. And why are there so few people around here?
We must mind the time, demoiselle. We still have important things.
Huh? We do? Like what?
Well, now, did you forget?
Miss Navia, here you are. I've been looking for you. Please, come to the
My trial?
Yes, she's right, demoiselle. It's just about time.
Oh?
Look, it's Navia. She's here.
And her two attendants are with her. Goodness, everyone's finally here.
There sure are a lot of people here to see the trial. And they all seem to be Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen. Why are so many people here? And as for the judge... Huh? Where's Monsieur Neuvillette?
Please sit in the defendant's seat. Don't worry, Silver and I shall...
All right. But are you sure you...
Typically, it wouldn't be allowed, but...
Hey, what kind of place do they think this is?
Come on. Do they have any idea what they're doing?
Seriously.
Enough with the whispering! Could someone please tell me where Monsieur Neuvillette is? And...
My dear Miss Navia, have you not yet realized? As all here know, you are Master Callus's successor. After you took over the Spina, you treated all of us just like the late master. Not only you, but your butler, your subordinates.
Wait a moment. Aren't you just proving that I'm a good person?
Yes, correct. Absolutely right. And that is why you stand accused. You have helped so many people get through so many difficulties. You are one with us. We are inseparable. We are one big family, all of us who are from Poisson, inextricably linked. And with you being so important, we couldn't possibly do. Therefore, this fair and honorable court shall declare you guilty, and you shall stay here.
Huh? Everything you have said is correct. I have indeed done a lot for my hometown.
Ah, well, if that's what you...
How wonderful, Miss...
I know all these people. Why are they laughing?
I seem to remember now.
Wait just a moment. This isn't right!
Malus?
What was that, Mr. Malus? Our conclusion is very clear, unanimous. Let the court judge her now. She's guilty!
Stay here, Navia! You're one of us!
Demoiselle, don't admit guilt. This trial means to keep you here forever.
I wish to exercise my right to defend Our Lady. Mr. Joinville, you only know of Navia's goodness, but nothing of her utterly independent mind.
She was born a free and independent spirit. She has never been tied down by...
Her actions cannot serve as... Please do not mistake her...
Really? As an individual, you say? Don't forget, we are all Fontainians here. Even if Miss Nav, everything is measured here in the nation of Hydro. And in the end, everyone shall meld together. Thus, now I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay. We and Navia are one.
And you would call this justice? Preposterous. Have you forgotten how much you all once longed to become in...
Do you mean to defy our...
If your justice is flawed, then why should we acknowledge it?
As you said, we can also have our own justice. Silver and I shall defend, and that is how we will enforce justice.
My head.
Demoiselle.
Silver, it hurts. My head is spinning. All I can see is stars swirling in front of me. I remember now. Everything that seemed odd from the very beginning. Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier. Even Malus and Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
Don't be afraid, and don't admit guilt. We will protect you to the very end.
Absurd! Who are you to say that she cannot be judged? We are the majority, and in the nation of— Don't let them escape! We shall keep
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to us. After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
What are you saying?
No more excuses!
She says we're jealous. Jealous? How could she possibly be an independent individual?
What's with these people?
Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us!
Miss Navia, she...
Silence!
That's...
Monsieur Neuvillette!
Such commotion is prohibited in the court. The accusations you just presented are nonsense and cannot constitute a proper trial. The court will adjourn for the rest of the day. In this, I shall hear no objections from any unauthorized party.
Our thanks, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Please leave with me, Miss Navia, while there is still time.
But...
Go on now, demoiselle. This is your only chance to leave this place. What, can't bear to leave us behind or something?
Malus.
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that this shall be our last goodbye.
Malus. Silver.
Quickly, you must come now.
Goodbye, demoiselle.
Farewell.
No, wait! Just a second!
Navia?
You're awake? Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still alive, and they were defending me at some insane trial.
It looks like you're all right.
Did all the sad feelings cause you to have a nightmare? Paimon could give you a hug.
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. When I arrived, I found you falling toward the water. You were just about to be dissolved within, but I...
What is it?
I think I saw two Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even a fraction of a second, but they gave me the chance to retrieve you. Were it not for their intervention, I would not have been able to rescue you before your consciousness dissipated.
Wait, did you say Oceanids? You mean like what happened with Vache?
Perhaps those two Oceanids were the people you saw in your dream.
I always told them that they didn't have to protect me.
Please come with me.
Neuvillette, are you okay?
Oh, I am quite all right.
Why do you look so stiff all of us? Oh, Paimon knows. You're the type who feels awkward when there's nothing to talk about.
I merely thought that we should give Navia some time to herself.
Huh? Why didn't you just say so then? Don't you think it's even more awkward to call us over like this and then have nothing to talk about?
I suppose so. Sigewinne. I hope all is well with her these...
No way! Don't worry. She's doing...
I see. Well, that is good. I have...
Oh, and the Duke also says hi! Even though Sigewinne made him do that.
Thank you. I have indeed been busy lately, and I also hope that everything is going well in the Fortress of Meropide.
He still doesn't know what to talk about. Let's chat about something else then. So, Neverlet... this isn't going anywhere.
Yes, in fact. I had arranged to meet you in Poisson, but when I arrived, I discovered that the Fatui were helping the residents. Amid my astonishment, I ran into the knave, and we had a chat. She informed me that she had asked you to investigate the ancient ruins here.
Yeah, we originally planned to meet up with you, but we thought you might still be busy with all...
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
Rack and ruin! Good grief! Shadows of fate! Beg for mercy! Dada Kondala.
Another unstable path. Watch your step.
Let me scry! Written in the stars! Shut up! Let it frost! Shadows of fate! Release my space! Inazuma shines eternal! Shine down! Fate is upon you! Delve into... Beg for mercy! Freeze to the core! Shut up! Dada Kondala.
like we've reached the end.
This is the place. There should not be any other hidden spaces in the vicinity.
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
Stone slates? It seems like they were put here as an offering. Could we take them down and have a look?
Perhaps we should just leave them be for now.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be in the first empty spot is missing.
The surrounding walls also show signs of damage.
There's something written below. Let Paimon see. Reason dictates that this nation be destroyed. I shall record the history of its future here in its past. Say what?
It feels like someone left these slates and these words here for a purpose. But does he mean that Fontaine should be destroyed?
That would fit the circumstances dictated by the prophecy, yes. Indeed.
There's a person kneeling here. She seems so dedicated. And there's a whole bunch of other people behind her doing...
And is that Lady Farina in the third image? Did the Hydro Archon fall into the water?
And is that a ring of people around her? Paimon doesn't quite get it. Are they all in the water?
The fourth image. I know this one. This exactly matches the content of the prophecy.
The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping. More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it, most likely due to us missing the first slate. I am very sorry.
Don't blame yourself, Monsieur Neuvillette. Deciphering ancient stone slates isn't one of your...
Ooh, Paimon's getting the chills just looking. This says that it's the history of the future, right?
I really hope it doesn't mean that.
Still, Paimon feels like these images are kind of weird.
That's right! If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the fourth, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before the third, where the Hydro Archon herself falls into the water?
And yet the order is reversed here.
If we go by timing, Lady Farina only emerges in the third image. That means that the person in the second image might be the previous Hydro Archon.
Egeria, then. I had never met her, but her appearance here does match the records. The previous Archon kneeling before the floating island in the skies, as if confessing a sin.
Did she herself commit that sin? Also, I'm still wondering why these ancient stone slates are here at all. Judging from their contents, could this place be the origin of the prophecy?
But who would have created these slates and left these words here?
It seems that any further clues will have to come from Farina.
In that case, there's no time to lose. There's nothing else to be gained here, so let's head back first.
Yeah, we better get somewhere safe for now.
Let's split up here. I'm going to check on what's happening with the Spina. You know how it is. There's...
You still have energy for that, Navia? Paimon's already beat.
Just head back to the Fleuve Cendre and have a rest then. Thanks for keeping...
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your hard work today. Rest well, everyone. Traveler, I will go talk to Farina tomorrow morning to ask about the stone slates. I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office. I will share the results of our discussion with you.
Are you really gonna talk to her about this directly? Will that be a problem? Paimon's getting...
She has long been harboring secrets.
Alright, we'll leave it in your...
I will be carefully considering my words tonight.
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Fleuve Cendre is always open to you, as ever. So please don't think you're an imposition. Alright. I'll be on my way then.
We're finally back!
Welcome back. We've got a special menu prepared for you two tonight.
Yay! And there's good food too! Ooh. Paimon's already starting to forget what happened today.
Oh, that voice. Is that who I think it is?
Huh?
It's you two. What are you doing in Fontaine? Seriously, nobody just uses a scryglass whenever they've got time to just see who they'll meet on the road.
Still, we didn't expect to see you here. Wait, you're not a Fontainian, are you, Mona?
Well, I have some business to attend to here, so I booked a hotel in the city. I was just out for a stroll when I bumped into you. Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Is that because Magistus doesn't sound much like a...
Yeah, let's go with that.
Well, I used to have my own surname, which was, well, some other thing. Either way, the old hag told me when she took me as her disciple that the first step to being a great astrologist, there was nothing for it, really. She really is amazing at astrology, so I changed my name to what it is now according to her wishes. To my surprise, however, Magistus is not the name of some ancient house or clan.
It isn't?
Nope. Although it is used by us in place of surnames.
Wow! Imagine including a boast in your name. Wait, are you gonna have to put that into your genealogy as well?
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well, if I were to take Astromancer Barbeloth Trismegistus.
Whoa, that's a long one. Does it also mean...
My name means Mona the Great Astrologist. As for the old hag, hers is, in plain speech, the...
Thrice as great? That's so... petty.
I know, right? That's just how she is. She used to call herself Magistus, actually, but when she took me in, she changed her name to Trismegistus.
Talk about excessive.
Magistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which makes it about the same as a...
That sounds terrible! But anyway, you're not Fontainian, are you, Mona? You're from Mondstadt, right?
Well, I was born in Mondstadt, yes. My parents migrated to Dorman Port.
Oh, that's a good thing then. At least we know you won't be dissolved by Fontaine's waters.
Speaking of that, I'm sure you're aware that a bunch of things have happened here in Fontaine, right? I know you're not a local, but I'd avoid getting too close to any water that looks strange all the same. There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean. That was the main reason, yes. Just a while back, the Steambird invited me to take part in a panel and speak about the circulation of the prophecy as an astrologist. The invitation was sent quite early on.
What do you make of...
What I can tell you is that I'm afraid that this is not something that just anyone can do. If I could do it, you would no longer call me an astrologist, but a visionary. But on the flip side, the prophecy is...
A visionary? Sounds really powerful and all, but does such a person really exist?
Of course. The old hag could do it.
And I'd bet...
Huh? Are you sure? All right, I'll help you.
Thanks, Mona! You're amazing as always!
Oh, well, this is something only I can do after all.
That's the greatest of astrologists for you! Of all the people we know, you know the star's the best!
Indeed, indeed. That's the spirit.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about. If there's anything you need, do not hesitate to inform the Spina di Rosula.
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own business now.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are with the Spina guy giving us suspicious looks. Right, but we were able to recruit Mona's help, didn't we? Good morning. To be honest, Paimon's still feeling kind of sleepy. But it's time to get up, Traveler. We agreed to go see Neuvillette, so let's pack it up and get going.
You're here! Finally!
Is something wrong?
Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina, they seem to have gotten into a dispute. Please go see for yourself.
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. There is little space for excuses between us. It is not my intention to offend you, but please, tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
You mean... they're all...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster. And I will say this once more. You must tell me everything you know. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient ruins near Poisson. Do you know anything about those?
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know anything about that. But you found them in some ancient ruins, you say?
That's correct, which is why I came to ask you some questions. There should have been 4 slates, but one of them was missing. The other 3 feature different images that seem to correlate to the prophecy.
The prophecy?
The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro Archon Egeria kneeling before a floating island in the sky, as if confessing something. Do you know nothing of this either?
I don't. I've never seen such slates.
I'll ask you again. Do you really have no information regarding the previous Archon? My deciphering of the slates indicates that the Hydro Archon Egeria once had to confess to, or apologize for, a certain sin. If anyone would know about it, it should be you.
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. Is it really so strange that I know nothing? I understand your concerns, but I'm sorry. I just don't have anything to tell you.
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into certain matters. There are several indications that you have been investigating the prophecy on the sly. This is not strange in itself, considering that you are the Hydro Archon. But it is strange that you should also claim to not know any of Egeria's secrets, as well as do nothing following your inquiries. You have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be, nor are you a fool. And yet, your behavior is very inconsistent.
Watching me all this time, have you? I didn't think you were that type.
You...
Well, that's all I have to say. We do not discuss this matter again. Oh, the opera's about to start. Toodles!
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her. She was smiling.
I assume you've been outside for a while now?
Oh! You noticed! Seems Farina didn't even realize we were here.
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses time and again, a state of affairs that we cannot allow to continue. Still, I do not understand. Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. We may have to create a situation in which she will have no choice but to speak.
Oh? Like what?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydro Archon experience just such a scenario.
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first chance she gets?
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties, and then do what we can. If at all possible, I would prefer to recuse myself from this affair, but we must prevent the prophecy from coming to pass. This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in... But who will lend us their aid to do such a thing?
Well, that's everyone, huh? Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid of people. That naturally makes it the best choice.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural thing in the world, huh?
That's what families should do. Sit and enjoy a leisurely time together.
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me? No, I don't think I can.
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as it is in court.
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at last. I guess I'll be facilitating things from here.
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend here, the Traveler, has brought us together to discuss something. As for what that is, well, Let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts together to create a series of traps.
Oh, how intriguing.
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand, and used on the spot. So, let's invite her to explain in detail. A round of applause, please.
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be facilitating this?
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice. You might even pick up some fancy oratory tricks to impress your boss with in the future.
I see. And what does my boss say?
He is glad that you consider him your boss. Do go on.
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette, oh, right. You were sick that day, weren't you?
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before. Does that count?
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marechaussee Hunters. Though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of King Remus. Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, taking up arms in other lines of work. They even left a unique methodology of hunting in their wake. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. Sometimes a lethal implement will also be necessary to deal with the prey. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now, what would you choose to build it with?
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait and naturally enter the snare. Our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry, so you can count on our techniques.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you—
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime. I'm quite the multitasker if I do say so myself.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods.
Calm and steady.
And I can be their assistant.
With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some— I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough, animals of the same—
What about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do.
That makes sense. You usually solve problems direct, but I do have one more question for you, Monsieur. If we were to create a trap now, how would you design it?
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change the containment device and the type of If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also—
Wait, why's that?
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life and death is often exceedingly thin.
So, are we going hunting together?
Huh. We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting metaphor is actually quite accurate. But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god, a being whose seat is an exalted throne.
Oh, so that's what's going on. Sounds very interesting.
much has been happening. Paimon didn't think the meetings would go on for so long, but everyone seemed pretty fired up, huh? Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon thinks about it, but everyone else just looked a little surprised. Well... It's hard to say. Paimon doesn't have any experience with this sort of thing. But with you around, Paimon sure will do great. After all, you're the most reliable person in the world, aren't you? Huh? Did you just pour some tea? Paimon didn't notice you doing that at all. Then what's that? Paimon's never seen that cup before.
Don't be frightened. I'm just joining you two for tea. I merely refrained from saying anything till now.
Who's that voice? But there's no one here.
Ah, have you forgotten me already?
Wait, you are familiar. You're the voice we heard from the sky in Sumeru.
The voice from the sky, I fear that description is wrong. Though, not completely wrong. You're feeling lost now, just as you were feeling previously. I sensed that confusion and thus came to you. Guiding people is an irresistible hobby. Consider me a passerby, just accepting a commission from my friend's disciple on a whim. The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesized will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
What? Then is there any way we can stop it?
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Tevat so easily be changed? Ah, so you've caught on. Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
What is she talking about? It all sounds really impressive and important and stuff, but it also sounds kind of scary.
I believe that you understand, right? Some things are insignificant, but others you must reach ultimately. Fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All you need to do is to play your part. This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality. Well, that'll be all for today.
The voice. It's gone. I want to hear someone talking. All right, coming. Hey, it's you who's getting lazy, okay?
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Luna!
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. It turned out to be more interesting. Not all Fontainians are pessimistic about.
Did she have pink hair by any chance?
Why, yes, it was Charlotte. I assume you've heard of her, no? That daredevil journalist? I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important.
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something sensible for once.
Ah, yes. About what we had discussed huh? Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the gods...
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. As for the mage named N, the old hag has mentioned her a few times. She said that N's sense of direction is incredible, and that she loves guiding those who are lost. But I've never met her, and if she were still alive, she'd be...
Whoa. The Hexen Circle sounds like a scary group. But they must really stay in shape to live so long.
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally, then the problem you're facing must truly be of great importance.
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that there is still a way to turn things around. She didn't say when or what that would be, though, so... Perhaps it is something that you cannot know right now. Traveler, Paimon, are you two all right?
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down right now. It kind of feels like the end is coming, you know?
I see. I feel that same sense of desperation, too. I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. So far as I have seen, it cannot be swayed. But even so, I still hope for, and believe in, miracles. Astrology is eternal and rational, but fate may not be. It is cruel, but it can also be beautiful. Perhaps that's what En was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you are seeing playing out before you is not yet. I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I couldn't. Even if this is all futile, I still...
Huh. You do have a point.
There I go. It was worth trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I believe that... I suppose that might be why we always seem to meet by coincidence.
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said. But also kind of sad, too. Hey, Traveler. Paimon suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's go. Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
Fate is called as such, for it cannot be changed, nor can it be reversed. It can only but be accepted.
Huh? Our names are written in this newspaper. What's going on? Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Meripede, has continued in its noble autonomy, but that does not mean that others cannot interact with it. My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore little fruit. Huh. Guess Charlotte still hasn't given up on that. Thus, did an Outlander friend become the focus of this report? A blonde adventurer with their white fairy, legends trailing in their wake. So while the fortress's interior remains a mystery behind closed doors, do not fear, for the tales of the traveler contain surprises in spades. Journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet, the Traveler's Trail, World Blocker. Huh. Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us, and she hasn't been able to get a hold of anything at the fortress, so since we're easier to find, she's using us at this... Ugh, seriously? Well, fine. Those headlines and photos do look cool, so Paimon will forgive her this time.
You neglected to mention that you...
My apologies.
Oh, forget the pleasantries, just sit.
Get a load of this guy. Forget the pleasantry.
I only agreed to meet since we're both...
Much obliged, sir. Yesterday morning, I have to get to the bottom of this to ensure that my show can go ahead as planned. Naturally, any investigation into the Weasel starts with a few questions.
What is there to investigate? Caesar was the Weasel and he's been dead for 10 years. So what if some sick...
Please, sir, no need to get so worked up. I do concede that a copycat is but one possibility.
Possibility? It's a fact, Linny. Look, my patient, the Weasel, is dead. Period. Everyone knows that, so do yourself a favor and quit this investigation. It'll lead you nowhere. Look, if this affects your magic show in any way, I will personally compensate you for any losses.
Oh, sir, I'm honored, really. My pride as a magician...
Your pride? Don't mince words with me, boy. Just tell me what exactly...
I want to find out the Phantom Weasel's true identity.
What would that accomplish? And what are the events...
Uh-oh. This is good.
Renzo? Is that? Oh, it is you!
Another day, I'm busy.
Oh, come on! You can't be all business all the time.
If I wanted your life advice, I'd ask for it. Now get out of my face and go be drunk.
Sorry, my good sir. I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Oh, hey! Edmondo. This is your first time meeting him? Oh, he's always like this. Foul-mouthed. And he wonders why he can't get a girlfriend, despite being, what, pushing 40, 30, something? Anyway, point is, a lot...
Shut up and get out of my face. Another word out of you and you can forget about doing business with me ever again. Do I make myself clear?
Sorry, I may have had a little too much to drink.
I think it's high time I made a move as well. If you really want to investigate this, Linny, be my guest. But if nothing good comes of it, don't say I didn't warn you.
Well, that fell to pieces in a rather spectacular...
Totally. And what was all that about compensating you for your losses? Why would someone you just met make an offer like that? He's gotta be hiding something. And not like Gemma. She was a little suspicious, but this guy's definitely covering something up.
I think so too. We need to look into Lorenzo more closely. That guy Edmondo seems to know a thing or two about him. He only just left. Let's see if we can catch up with him. You okay there?
Who are you? Oh, it's you guys. I said way too much back there, didn't I?
So, he was serious about threatening.
Hey! Keep your voice. Don't go prying into Lorenzo's personal affairs. Bad things happen to people who ask too many questions.
What kind of bad things?
Don't even ask. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take it from me. Trouble with Lorenzo is one thing you don't need in your life. You saw him flare up back there. I don't know what. That's not a good sign. You're too young for this. Don't get in over your head. I'm leaving.
And there he goes. What do we do?
Shh! I think we're being watched. Don't say anything and don't look back. Any altercation in the city will attract the guard.
We're here! Paimon's... Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition, only 16 slices a day cake! It was so delicious the last time we tried it. Despite the urine, let's give it another go. I'm sure it'll be great. One slice of cake, please. Someone showed up after all. Oh, wait, you're the one from the Palais Mermonia.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalette was right. You were...
Wait, did he really say something like that?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me, I love the cake and coffee here.
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work. I shall have my cake and coffee.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here anymore? What would you think?
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but maybe the waters will rise tomorrow.
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid... No. It's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living, you know.
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us things about humans. She said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily, yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. So please try the cakes here. I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now. You two try to stay in a good mood after eating, all right? Bye.
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. Paimon's sure this cake will be delicious. It's more delicious than last time! And the flavor gets even better with a sip of tea. It sure would be nice if we could come again tomorrow. Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious food here. Oh! We're near the
article I wrote about you?
Ha! You've got some nerve! You just used us to make some quick...
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I heard it's all right, though.
Really?
You're almost...
Oh, Paimon knows...
Still, what brings...
A friend of ours met...
Ah, so she mentioned me?
She said that you're...
Nice.
Huh? So your art...
Oh, of course it doesn't. That was more...
Yeah, are we even qualified enough?
Why not?
Oh, in that case...
Oh, so that's a yes? Oh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief. Oh, so much to get done.
Wait, Charlotte, Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If... Just...
Huh. That's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it often, but if you're seriously... From what I've seen, most people don't know what they... So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for... Just think about it. If this nation really were to be suddenly destroyed tomorrow, but I still successfully... And then you'd write that... I'm not a dreamer, nor... But anyway, that's my answer.
That's... so nice. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing combo, huh? Paimon's been thinking... If it wasn't Fontaine, but all of Tevat that would be destroyed tomorrow, where would we go? And no, Paimon should ask if you could choose. We've always been moving to the next destination, so we haven't spent much time thinking about these kinds of things. You mean, still traveling? Huh. Wait, isn't that what we've always been doing? Feels like you'll grow mold if you stay here long enough. But it's still better than the Fortress of Mirapede, that's for sure. It's not only damp there, but salty too.
Ah, so the two of you are still here. Wonderful.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermonia, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Monsieur Nervillat sent me to look for you two before. I heard that Not at all. I'm well aware that your friend... Yes, inside the Opera House.
A riot?
Well, that said, Lady Farina was watching a performance at the Opera House. And while she was resting during an intermission, some other audience members loudly accusing her of doing nothing. And before she could respond, others started to join in. The crowd continued to grow and protest against the Hydro Arc.
So, Farina. Guess they find...
I agree. People will naturally rely on gods, as is...
So what happened after that? Is Farina okay?
Seeing that the situation was spiraling out of control, the Marechaussee Phantom had their hands full maintaining order and did not catch where Lady Farina had gone.
So, you mean she's still missing?
That's right. The Marechaussee has dispatched many people to search. That said, I don't think there's much to worry about. Good. Monsieur Nervillat sent me to tell...
Don't worry. This is more than enough to go on. Thanks for keeping us informed.
Is that so? Well, all right then. In that case, you two take care. I'll be heading back to the Palais now.
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then. If we know Farina, she won't try to fix things in this situation. Instead, she'll look for a place to wait out the heat. And, as we also know, she may be loud and dramatic, but she doesn't have a heart of stone. When Nervillat was talking to her in the Palais Mermon, it would be hard for her to ignore being accused, but Paimon thinks Farina's probably taken the opportunity to slip away to Poisson and try to relieve the sense of guilt that she's feeling. Huh. Well, what do you think? Paimon knows the answer, of course, but Paimon can do the analysis to back it up, too. Cool, huh? In that case, there's not a moment to lose. Poisson, here we come!
Knights and aristocrats share the same cultural heritage, but the knights had enough sense